Multi-factor authentication, or MFA, is among the strongest approaches to protecting your accounts and systems from bad actors. Although this remains true, the rapid growth of cybercrime has allowed cybercriminals to bypass these high-level security solutions. One-time passwords, or OTPs, and generated codes can still be phished from unwitting individuals, and you could be one of the victims. When even one of the strongest security practices starts to fail, what can you do? For one, you can look into phishing-resistant MFA, which is exactly what we'll talk about today. Having helped secure business networks for more than 20 years, we've seen how cyber criminals evolve their tactics to victimize unsuspecting individuals. So in this video, we'll discuss what is traditional MFA and its risks. What is phishing-resistant MFA, and what benefits it can bring your organization? What is traditional MFA and its risks? In order to understand phishing-resistant MFA, let's first talk about how standard and traditional multi-factor authentication works and why it isn't considered as strong as before. Multi-factor authentication, MFA, is a multi-layered login process that requires at least two independent factors or pieces of information. These factors can be two of the following three. Number one, something you have like a one-time password or OTP, a personal device, or a token. Number two, something you know, like a password, a PIN, or the answer to a security question. And number three, something you are, like using biometrics through a fingerprint or Face ID. In traditional MFA, the most common combination is of the first two, something you know and something you have. While still a stronger authentication process compared to just using usernames and passwords, it is still highly vulnerable to social engineering attacks, particularly phishing. Malicious actors can trick users into providing their login credentials and unique codes, or OTPs, to gain access to accounts and systems. For this reason, phishing-resistant MFA was created. What is phishing-resistant MFA? Simply put, phishing-resistant MFA lessens the dependence on weaker authentication factors such as passwords and OTPs, or removes it completely. Instead, what's used are, number one, passkeys or cryptographic keys, which are stored in a user's own device. Number two, biometric factors, which are user inherent factors. And number three, external security devices like USBs that can use Bluetooth or NFC technology. Using these makes the authentication process significantly more secure because these factors are much harder to obtain. Malicious actors will have to physically steal the device or a user's biometrics for their attempts to succeed. Why use phishing-resistant MFA? There are two main benefits to using phishing-resistant MFA. The first and most obvious one is it makes you significantly less vulnerable, almost immune to phishing attacks. There will be no more OTPs or codes that malicious actors can phish. The other is greatly improves user experience because you won't have to remember usernames and passwords. You simply have to plug it in or connect an external security key or input your biometrics to gain access to your accounts, which is an easier and faster process. Phishing-resistant MFA may seem like new technology, but it's been in the work for years. Big companies such as Microsoft, Apple, and Google have been working towards a passwordless future due to the increasing vulnerability of traditional MFA. However, don't be mistaken in thinking that MFAs are now pointless. It is still a strong cybersecurity practice that offers excellent protection. Instead, this is a call to be more vigilant and cautious, especially when interacting with suspicious entities and applications. Now that you know about phishing-resistant MFA, you're well on your way to better securing your company's network. If you want that extra protection and ease of mind, you can follow the 10 best cybersecurity tips and practices from experts by checking our article.